Hawaii is fortunate to have year-round availability of several tasty and nutritious staple crops. Yet, today we import over 99% of our staple foods, mostly rice, wheat, and potatoes, which puts us in a very risky position from a food security perspective. Incorporating more of our traditional Hawaiʻi-grown starches into CACFP meals is a great way to increase Hawaii's resilience while introducing those aged 2 to 102 to wholesome staples that will contribute to their health and well-being for a lifetime. In this video, we will be discussing the best ways to source and store 4 prominent Hawaiian staple crops and how to properly credit them in CACFP meals.
Ulu, or breadfruit, is one of the most important Pacific plants, with hundreds of different varieties cultivated over millennia by Polynesian voyagers and farmers. Amazingly nutritious and versatile in the kitchen, breadfruit is one of the only staple food crops on Earth that grows on perennial trees. One tree can live for over 50 years, producing hundreds of pounds of fruit each season. Kalo, or taro, is considered by many to be the most sacred of all traditional Hawaiian staple crops. It is regarded as the elder brother of the Hawaiian people, illustrating the strong familial connection between people and nature in Hawaiian culture. Hawaiians developed and grew 300 different varieties of kalo. Rich in vitamins A and C, antioxidants, and dietary fiber, eating kalo helps to regulate blood sugar and can help mitigate or lower the risk of developing diabetes. ʻuala, or sweet potato, was traditionally a staple crop in Hawaii because of its hardiness. It can handle dry conditions where kalo may not thrive. Okinawan sweet potatoes are the most common variety of ʻuala grown in Hawaii today, and were brought to the islands by Japanese sugar plantation workers during the 1900s. Their vivid color comes from anthocyanins, antioxidants which can help reduce inflammation. Palaʻai, winter squash or pumpkin, is one of the world's oldest domesticated crops, used in agriculture across the Americas for over 10,000 years. Its bright orange color comes from high beta-carotene and vitamin A content, important nutrients for eye, skin, and immune health. Palaʻai was brought to Japan in the mid-16th century by Portuguese sailors, and from there thought to have made its way to Hawaii with Japanese immigrants during the plantation era.
When looking to source fresh staple crops in Hawaii, factors such as seasonality, ripeness, and proper storage must be taken into account before making your purchase or planning your menu. Each crop has its own particular seasonality, which may vary from region to region throughout Hawaii due to our different island microclimates. In general, peak availability for each crop is as follows: ʻulu, July through December; palaʻai, August through December; ʻuala, February through June; and kalo, March through July. These are the times you can most reliably expect to be able to incorporate fresh starches sourced locally into CACFP meals. Source fresh starches in season through your local farmers markets, food hubs, produce distributors, and grocery stores. Make sure your produce is locally grown by knowing your farmer and supplier, buying close to home, and looking for specific varieties that are grown in Hawaii.
Selecting for proper maturity or ripeness is an important part of incorporating fresh local starches into your meals. Each crop has its own indicators for ideal usage, and maturity indicators may differ across crop varieties. Ulu can be used differently in its immature, mature, and ripe stages. The fully mature phase is the most commonly used. This is when the fruit starches have fully developed but the sugars have not yet begun to form. At this phase, ulu is much like a potato. Signs of fully mature ulu vary across varieties in Hawaii, but generally, mature breadfruit should be firm and have smooth skin with expanded cells and some browning in color. If the fruit is soft to the touch and aromatic, then it has passed the fully mature phase and is now ripe. Ripe ulu may not substitute well for potato, but can be used for various desserts, much like pumpkin or even ripe banana. Mature kalo corms should be firm and heavy for their size. The stem end that has been cut should be fresh and vibrant in color. The skin should not crumble when scraped. Like kalo, mature winter squash should feel heavy for its size. If the fruit feels light, it may be immature. The stem should be dry and tan. If it's green or leaking sap, the fruit may have been harvested too early. Also, the skin should be dull, not shiny, and thick, and should not puncture when you apply pressure with your fingernail. Like ʻulu, kalo, and palaʻai, optimally mature Okinawan sweet potatoes will be firm to the touch. The skin should be smooth and unwrinkled. Avoid selecting potatoes with patches of discoloration or holes. For all of the staples covered in this video, avoid selecting produce with cuts, cracks, holes, or soft spots, which could provide openings for bacterial contamination and not be food safe.
Fresh starches must be stored in a cool, dry space or in a refrigerator. This is necessary to prevent wilting, decay, and loss of nutrients as the produce ages. Its recommended conditions for storage of pumpkins and winter squashes are 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Chilling injury develops in temperatures below 50 degrees. Most cultivars of tropical pumpkins cannot be stored for more than 2 to 3 months. Fresh ʻuala should be held at 57 degrees Fahrenheit, plus or minus. Roots can be stored successfully under these conditions for up to 1 year without sprouting. Storage of roots at temperatures below 55 results in chilling injury. Good ventilation is essential for kalo storage. The storage recommendation is 45 to 50 degrees for up to 18 weeks. Chilling injury will occur if stored at temperatures below 45 to 50 degrees. Ulu is a more challenging product to store for any length of time and, if possible, should be used or cooked and frozen within 3 days after harvest. Fresh ulu can be stored in a controlled environment with temperatures between 41 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit for up to 1 week. This will slow the ripening process and keep fruit firm, but the skin and outer flesh may brown. Storing ulu below 41 degrees Fahrenheit can result in chill damage and should be avoided. For best results, fresh ulu should be used immediately after harvest to ensure the fruit is cooked at the right stage and does not have time to ripen.
Purchasing minimally processed staples means that a lot of the work is already done for you, saving time and labor cost in the kitchen. These products come already cleaned, cut, steamed, and frozen, and are often referred to as recipe ready because they can simply be reheated and served or incorporated directly into common recipes, such as soups, stews, casseroles, salads, and more. Frozen products are available in Hawaii for all of the starches discussed in this video and can be sourced pre-peeled or with the skin on, fully or partially cooked, and in different cuts and sizes. For ulu, different maturity stages are available as well. There are still a number of important factors to consider before purchasing minimally processed staples, including delivery, storage temperature, and thawing method. Recipe-ready staples can be sourced from a number of food hubs, food service distributors, and grocery stores around Hawaii, or directly from frozen product manufacturers. Frozen products can be delivered directly to your institution or shipped overnight from the manufacturer. Minimally processed starches must be stored at appropriate temperatures to ensure food safety. Store in a refrigerator below 41 degrees Fahrenheit for up to 10 days, or in a freezer at 0 degrees Fahrenheit or below for 1 year or longer. It is best to anticipate the thawing time and method for frozen products ahead of time. Products moved from the freezer to the fridge will take approximately 45 hours to thaw. Thawing in a hurry may also be done by holding products under running water for about an hour and a half. The fastest thawing method is to steam the product for 5 to 15 minutes, depending on the cut size.
One of the most exciting parts of incorporating local Hawaiian-grown starches into CACFP meals is how these products can be credited and meet nutritional requirements for our keiki to kupuna. In 2013, according to a USDA memo, SP 29-2013, the USDA approved multiple ways to use ʻulu and kalo on a plate. Both starches can be counted as either a vegetable or a whole grain. Chefs and meal planners can choose. This allows for a lot of flexibility when trying to meet nutritional requirements with locally grown products, given conventional whole grains like rice and wheat are not grown in Hawaii. According to the USDA, half cup of ʻulu, kalo, or poi can count as a 1 ounce equivalent whole grain. For example, if you're looking to meet a half-ounce whole grain requirement for a child's breakfast, you could do this with quarter cup steamed ʻulu or kalo. And if you're looking to provide a 2 ounce equivalent whole grain for an adult supper, you can do so with 1 cup of ʻulu or kalo. Since no other approved sources of whole grains are commercially grown in Hawaii, this is a great way to incorporate local food and reduce our dependence on imported staples. Please note that when planning menus using ʻulu and kalo, the crop cannot credit as both a grain and a vegetable in the same meal. The menu planner must choose one or the other. Meanwhile, ʻuala and palaʻai are always counted as vegetables, and extra veggies can always be credited as a fruit under CACFP.
We hope this video helps you utilize Hawaiʻi-grown staples in CACFP meals. Changing our food system starts with changing the way consumers eat and interact with local food. By incorporating local starches into your meals, we are not only increasing Hawaii's food security, but contributing to the health and well-being of our entire island ohana.